Good morning, and welcome to Life is Good. You know, you look at life is a process. When you're born, you're young, growing up, you're trying to get the approval of your parents. Eventually, you go to school, you get in school when you want to fit in the crowd. And so, a big portion of our life is how do we get the approval of other people? We get a job, we want the boss to like us, we want the teacher to like us, we want our parents to like us. And everywhere we go, we're just trying to fit in and have people like us, feel good about ourselves. And that works for a little bit, but eventually in life you figure out that you can't please everybody. And when you try to please everybody, the reality is you have to be kind of unauthentic. I got to fit into what you think I ought to be instead of who I'm going to be. So as we grow older, we wake up and say, who am I and how do I fit in the world? And through that process of trying to fit in, typically what happens is we try to avoid conflict and so try to keep everything smooth. And oftentimes people go into careers of taking care of people so they can feel better about themselves, become doctors, nurses, whatever. And we kind of play that out. But eventually, for most of us, we come to a spot where we've finally decided, I got to figure out who I am and what my values are outside of what I've been told by everybody else. And as you begin that process, that's where conflict starts to show up, because there's only one of you, there's only one of me, there's only one Mike Monahan. And I know in my life, I had to decide at some point, who am I? And the first 40 years of my life, all I was doing is fighting the world, fighting against everything. And then, when I was around 40 years old, everything started to change. And I found some things that I loved, and I learned how to fight for something. And when you fight for something, automatically you stand out. And when you stand out, there's going to be conflict. And so the life process is a challenging process, because as soon as you stand out and you're independent and you think for yourself, there's going to be a lot of disagreements. I used to talk about when I teach a seminar, which was the 3 R's of leadership: resistance, ridicule, and rumor. You're going to say what you need to say and people are going to resist it. Now, I disagree with that. Ridicule, who did he think he is? Where's he coming from with that idea? I'm told I'm wrong all the time. And then rumor, go tell 300 people, this guy's whack. And so that's the way it works. So the idea of the journey and the process is eventually we have to face all the things that are in life. And so if we're going to be a unique individual, we're going to have to face conflict. And if we don't face conflict, then we internalize it, and usually that comes out in passive-aggressive behavior, resenting other people, victimhood, So in life, if you watch people who haven't learned how to accept personal responsibility and own who they are, is they act like they're a victim. They blame everybody else. They say that, the world's against them and they can't get a break. And so life is a process. You get to choose, I get to choose, we all get to choose. Am I going to take responsibility for my life? Am I going to let the world know who I am? And when I do, once I'm authentic and I let people know who I am and what I stand for, then the people who are in line with that are going to fall in line, and the people who aren't are going to walk away. And in some ways, that becomes a lot of freedom. To surround yourself with people you love, you care about, people who care about you, who support you, and they can disagree with, the stuff you have, but they aren't against you in that way. They realize you're unique to who you are. So that's the message of today. So if you're on a journey to unique and you're getting banged on, it's just part of the process. You'll get used to it, and eventually you'll find out having freedom is what it's all about. So life is good today. I hope you have a great day. I'm going to have a good day here, and I'll be talking to you soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye. If I can get this turned off.